Hello everyone, and welcome to Authentic Now Yoga, the online yoga studio for anybody and everybody. My name is Jody Pinile, and we're going to do a full class today using props. Very deliberately using props and maybe learning some new ways, new ideas to use them. If you're anything like I am, you maybe are a little lazy if you're in a class and the teacher says, oh, go up and get a prop for this, or if you need a prop for this. Sometimes I'll just stay there and make do without. So in the very beginning of my classes, I often like to just have those ready so I don't have to make that decision in the middle of the class. So if you have something that looks like this, a nice block. If you don't have this, a big book, a dictionary, a big sturdy box is a good option. A blanket, beach towel, pillow. Well, not a pillow won't work for this. You need a blanket because we're going to fold it different ways. Anyway, so you might want to pause and go grab that stuff so you're ready and you don't have to go later. Okay, so now that we're ready, we're going to work on our easy seated pose, and we can use blocks for that. You can sit on a blanket, you can sit on a block, you can take a block under each knee. A couple ideas. There's a whole video on how to modify easy seated pose using props. So once you find your position that's going to work for you and your body, then you can just work on coming into stillness. So settling into this base, finding that nice tall, open spine, finding some release, finding the spots where you might be holding tension and then encouraging them to let go. And just all of those little tasks bring you more connected to your body, more connected to the moment. And then you can just come to some quiet, as I will. And you can either focus on your body breathing itself or just noticing the body in this nice still place. Thoughts will probably come in. You can just watch them go by, not grab onto any. Return to the breath, return to the body. For these next few breath cycles, just imagine that breath is filling your whole being, like in a balloon you're inflating with your breath. Beautiful. And if your eyes are closed, you can open them. Okay, so we're going to start on our backs. We're going to use our blanket down there. And I'm going to just show you quickly how to roll it up lengthwise. So depending on your height, this is going to work. So now I just have like a nice little tube that I'm going to lay on. Having both my sacrum and my head supported here. And then I'm just going to lie here for a few breath cycles, letting my chest soften and open, letting my hips open as my legs reach beyond that blanket. And let's take our fingertips to our shoulders and just do some elbow rolls. See if you can get those arms down to the blanket, down to the mat. Feel your shoulder blades starting to loosen up. And then reverse directions. Excellent. All right, let's take our arms in cactus pose down on the mat. If you need to bend your knees, go ahead and bend your knees if that's getting too extreme. You can let the knees fall into each other. Then we're just going to slide our arms along the mat or close to the mat. Bring the fingertips together, slide back, bring the elbows in towards the rib cage. Try not to lose the alignment here. Things might want to pop out and go in different directions to help ooch you along, but just try and keep that integrity in your spine. You can engage a little bit to make sure that happens. So all we're doing is just little snow angels with bent arms. Yes, nice. All right, finish your round, release. We're gonna roll off the blanket and take the blanket underneath the sacrum. Yes, and then extend the legs. Just feel that opening even more in the hip flexors and lengthening the quads and the belly. Reach your arms up overhead. You can flex and point. Nice. All right, let's just reach one knee in and extend, reach the other. Give it a good squeeze. And next time you hug the first knee in, just bring your head up and then see if you can hover up there while you switch knees back and forth. Then you can take opposite elbow to opposite knee. Little yogi bicycling with a wrinkle, a speed bump, if you will. Nice. All right, release. Hug those knees in one more time. All right, let's lift the hips, take the blanket out. Roll over to your side. Just set that aside for now. All right, let's grab our block again. So we're going to come into child's pose, which is sort of our little warm up to class demarcation where you can just remind yourself, oh yes, I'm connecting with my breath, I'm connecting with my body, setting an intention if that's part of your practice. There are a lot of different ways to use props for child's pose. There's also another video, but just a couple of ideas. Kneeling on the blanket if your knees are uncomfortable or if your ankles are strained by being in child's pose, you can put the blanket behind your knees. If it's too intense for your knees, you can put your head on a block. You can take your elbows on the block. Hands in prayer pose. I'm going to stay in this one. All right, let's bring ourselves out. We're just going to curl the toes under and wobble. I don't know why that came to me, but wobble back into a squat pose. Blocks, if this is too extreme for you, are a great way to work on a squat pose. So all we're going to do, as I usually do, is we're starting out, we're just working our way into whatever pose our body is up for right now. So just find your version of a squat pose. Again, there are lots of modifications in a separate video, but a couple possibilities. Putting a blanket underneath your heels if you can't quite get down there. Putting a blanket behind your knees if it's too intense of a compression on your knees. That's a nice, gentle way to be in this posture. Okay. So just wiggling, finding our way. And then we'll work back in forward fold and a squat pose. So you take your time. You can spend more time in the forward fold, more time in the squat. We're just going to go back and forth, letting things open up, letting things let go. If you need a block for your forward fold, this is going to be pretty handy. The blocks have different heights, so you can play around with that. You can even stand on a block and deepen your forward fold if you're uber flexible. All right, let's meet back up in a forward fold and take our hands to our hips, extend that spine, bring yourselves all the way up. Oops, I forgot my block. Gonna bring that all the way up. So we're gonna work on our standing mountain pose using a block, a couple different ways. So first, just find your feet underneath your hips. Get your nice neutral pelvis, your neutral rib cage, tall spine, everything is in its place. And then just take this block between your hands or book or whatever it is. Nice. And just give it a little squeeze so I can feel that effort initiating. Yes. And then I'm just going to simply keep squeezing while I bring that up over my head. Squeeze, 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 align, align, grow. Nice, out in front, squeeze. Oops, can't see you. And down, and forward fold, squeeze. And back up. Squeeze, keep squeezing, squeeze. Up and over, align. Nice, last time. Squeeze, down, squeezing, forward fold, hanging and squeezing. Nice, and come back up. And release. All right, we're gonna bring this block back down for a forward fold. So if you're very flexible and you can get your palm down to the mat, you're not gonna need a block. But for everybody else, find that height of the block or book that's going to work for you and your body so that you can extend your legs and have your palm on the block. All right, so here's my position. Bring your left hand right under your face. Palm on the block. Nice, and I'm going to bend my left knee, take my right hand to my sacrum, extend the spine, and then spiral over to the right. So as I'm spiraling, my arm is pushing down into the mat, which opens up my shoulder. Yes. This elbow is helping me, bringing that shoulder with it. And then if you want, you can lift that upper arm towards the ceiling, seeing if you can find it in one nice long line with the bottom arm. Yeah. All right, let's come on back. We're going to switch sides. So the right hand goes on the block, Right knee bends, left hand comes to sacrum. Spine extends first and then spiral over to the left. Yes. Reaching up with that left arm if that feels right. Beautiful. All right, let's do one more each side. Get it dialed in and let's spend a couple breath cycles really seeing what we've got there. Remember, pushing down into that block, lengthening the spine, bending the left knee. See if you can get those shoulders in one nice long plane. Beautiful. Breathe. Extend. Yes, come on back. We'll take the right hand underneath the face, left hand to the sacrum. Right knee bends. And lengthen and spiral. And extend. Pushing down into the block. Feeling that engagement. Yes. I love this one. Nice. All right, let's come on back. Just give a little wiggle. You can shake out the legs, shake out the head. And let's roll all the way up. So we're going to work on a standing balancing pose, and I'm going to give you a couple options. So first one is we can do a standing balancing pose standing on the block, which helps a little bit with balance. The block / book, whatever it is for you. So I can work on standing balancing. I can find a tree pose here. Nice, so that's option number one. Option number two is a tree pose on the mat, but using the block. Oops, let's get that foot in position. That's option number two. Option number three is working on a warrior three position using the block. So finding myself coming onto one leg, extending, reaching out with that block. Okay, so find your standing balancing pose, whatever's speaking to you. We'll do one side and then we'll switch. Wherever you are, breathing, extending, feeling the block. Yes. We come on out mindfully as we go in mindfully. And then if you're ready to switch sides, go ahead and switch. Remember alignment, extension, breath, all of those are your friends when you're balancing. Thoughts, not so much. Yeah. Nice, yes, just breathe. Beautiful, everybody. I feel you out there. Whoop. Nice, mindful exit. Okie dokie. Let's go. Let's come down to the mat. We're gonna sit. We're gonna bend our knees, take our blocks, our feet up against the block, and just grab on. So whenever we're working on this little forward bend, forward fold, this angle is really the most important thing. What's not as important is if our legs are straight or not. So this is a great little reminder to get this situation, the lower back lengthened, and opened. Yes. And maybe you can extend a little more. Maybe you're one of those people who can reach beyond with legs extended and use that block to help lengthen their forward fold. If that's so, please take yourself there. I'm not that person. So we're working on extending, lengthening the spine. We're not trying not to let our shoulders come out of position. So bring them away from the ears. Anchor them down on the back. Yeah, lengthen the front body. Nice. 2 more breath cycles. All right, now we're going to sit on this block and do the same thing. What do you notice? How does this change things? Breathing, lengthening, bending forward. Nice. And then let's release. All right, let's come off the block. We're going to work on a boat pose using the block, and I'll show you a couple of different possibilities here. So one is having that block, squeezing that between your thighs. One is using the block between your hands. So find whatever one speaks to you. Find your little tripod, sit bones and sacrum. Find this engaged, aligned spine first. Get that dialed in. So you really feel that support in the core. Okay, bring yourself out. If you need to bend, wiggle, move. And then let's take that one more time, using the opposite option of what you just did. Or if you don't want to, repeat. Just give yourself some different experiences. All right, tripod, lengthen, extend, engage. When you lose this integrity, you've gone too far, so just back off. Yes, nice. All right, come on back out. All right, let's come on to our bellies. Take your beach blanket or towel, whatever it is you have. Just bring that under your rib cage so that your pelvis is still on the mat. Nice. Let's just first lay down, forehead resting on your hands. Wiggle the hips. Bend your knees, windshield wiper the feet. Nice, and from here, let's just lift up one leg at a time, toes towards the ceiling, knees bent. There you go. All right, give another little wiggle. You're going to reach back and grab the feet. If you can't grab the feet, Just head them in the same direction as your hands, reaching the shoulders away from the ears, reaching the fingers towards the feet. Or if you can make a little clasp, grab the ankles. Nice. This is a great place to stay. Check in with your front of your pelvis. See if you can get that down to the mat again. Mine likes to pop up. And then just lift your chest. Roll those shoulders. Let the shoulders lead. Let that back lift. Nice. Release. Just slump down. Rest on one cheek. Wiggle out. Release. All right, let's visit this again. So bend, reach the shoulders, lift, make a clasp if you can. Don't worry about it if you can't. This is a great option. Lifting, lifting, release down to the mat. Turn your cheek, rest on the other cheek. All right, let's take our hands underneath our shoulders, which should be on the blanket. Elbows in towards the rib cage, shoulders reaching away from the ears. Let's just find a cobra. So maybe it's low, maybe it's coming up a little bit higher, keeping the pelvis down. Yes. Beautiful. Come on back down. Wiggle, release. Let's push all the way back to a child's pose. Put your blanket on your lap and bend over. And then we'll come on to our backs. Take a block with you. We're going to need that. Beautiful. All right, just first lie long. Grow, realign, feel that spine is now having a support. Let it just relax down into the mat. Find a new alignment. Yes. All right, let's bend the knees. Let's take our block just on the lowest setting. Underneath the sacrum, arms by your sides. Then if it works to extend your legs, go ahead. Maybe you need to do one at a time or both. You can point the toes, extend the legs, really grow them as that front is opening. You can walk your shoulder blades under a little bit. Get a belly opener, chest opener. Nice. All right, bend the knees, bring the feet back towards the bottom. We're going to lift up into a bridge pose. And if you'd like, you can rest on that block a little bit higher. Whatever's going to work for your body, just make sure you feel stable here. This block is just sitting under the sacrum, under that nice flat spot. Bring those knees towards each other, reach them forward. Keep it alive. If you feel good there and you'd like to extend your legs up, that's another possibility. Find a little inversion if inversions work for you in your body. Another possibility is lowering the legs from here. Does that work for your body? Maybe one at a time. Just playing around, having experiences with our block. Nice. All right, bring the feet back to the mat if they're not already there. Come onto the balls of the feet, lift up the hips and remove the block. Set your spine down, bring your knees in, bring your nose up to your knees, give a good squeeze. And let's bring the head and shoulders back down to the mat. We'll just do some twists here. Bring the knees over to one side and the other. Take your time, find your distance, your pace, your twist. And then, if you would like, for your Shavasana, or just a little before your Shavasana, you can create a little reclining blanket block combination. Bottoms of the feet can be together. Legs can be crossed. Legs can be extended. Yes, feel free to experiment and explore. Take the time. We're just coming into quiet with the body, with the mind, with the breath. You can switch to corpse pose at any time. Be quiet for a little while longer, just staying connected with yourself, with your breath, with the moment. And allow these next few breath cycles to reanimate your body, inflating it with your breath again. You can start to introduce movement. Just nice and gentle. Gently lifting your head if it's been back on the blanket. Rolling to your side. Feeling the support. And then finding your seated pose. Using another prop for that if you'd like. Just take a little time here to check in. What is it feeling like to be us right now? Is there anything you want to celebrate, take with you into your day? Just notice that. You can take it all. And take one more full breath. Feeling that little egg shape you're making right now. Yeah. Nice. And then whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. All right. Well, thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that you have a new appreciation for props. Props for props. Have a great day.